Welcome back, everybody. I was about to restart the Star Trek Fleet Command app, and I just got a winner thing, and I clicked. I ranked 8 in the rankings, so I'm pretty ecstatic. 450 Latinum. Now, I don't know about you, but hundreds of Latinum still means a lot to me. This is like a 4.99 4.99 purchase. I've actually haven't carded with this company, which I have with other companies for a long list of stuff. I think my first purchase I ever had a credit card was for a college textbook. That's a long story. That's like when I was about 18, maybe. Anyways, it all comes down to like money you spend, money you pay, money you save. I might have said that in like a transposed order. So this is pretty cool. So if you're wondering about the Latinum, you're new to this game. For those of you who already know, you don't need to hear this. You can ignore me and just listen to your music. But the Latinum is used to purchase certain things in here. So this is really nice. We actually ranked 16th in my alliance, or our alliance, the OPM alliance, which has now been renamed to OPM-A, but there's an OPM-B, which I leave open, because people have problems with, privacy, and then managing extra crap, and then sometimes people spying on accounts or coming in your chat in your alliance and just upsetting everybody. So it's nice to go private. It keeps things stable. But on the bad side, I wish I could, people that have already been, members for a long time could go in and out if I mark them trustworthy, you know what I mean, or something. Anyways, I guess like a reputation or something. So I got some stuff I really needed, especially this uncommon refined gas. My God, I've literally been stuck on the same ship at the same power because of this. And the other thing is it's hard to get enough credits. I can't do Federation Warrior most times because my ship power is too low. And it's not that hard to keep up with it if you have the right schedule and information. So if you're in your mid-20s, please save your resources, because even if you save for a whole month, you can't make up the month that you spend. Look at it as like your entire month's salary. So you don't want to spend it all and just go hungry for weeks. It's the same thing here. You actually literally feel kind of like a type of hunger for something. And here we go. There's a bunch of speed ups here. So that's really cool. I didn't think I even ranked in the top 8. Most of the time I don't pay attention to that, and usually I get beat out and pushed all the way past 25. So yeah, cool. And the event came early. That's it. I guess the reward might have came at 11, but only like half an hour ago I sold it. So before I actually restart, you might actually run this. Sorry about the last video. I thought it was recording actually on OBS here. There's like a little thing here that looks like an eye that turns off the stream. So you want to double check that. I could have sworn it was on. So software is always a bit unstable. Of course, the hardware I got is not the best either too. But even with the best hardware you can find in the universe, there's still gonna be something wrong. So I got some 1 hour speed ups. Now these are significant to me. I need repair speed ups, to be honest. But I haven't done my dailies yet. Oh, I got a ton of parts. Look at that, 24 of the Explorer parts. Exactly what I need. And some people wonder, hey, why don't I level up the Rock and this other ship? You only get so much titanium. It literally costs hundreds of millions to get it up to the last tier. Technically, you could make an infinite level of tiers, but it'd be crazy. The other thing is you don't see a difference on the outside. Most of the time we only see a number stuck on top of the ships here, which is different from NavyField, which is a game I play a lot. You don't actually see numbers on there, like your player numbers, only stuck all the way in the profile. So you only see like the alliance name and the ship name and then the player name. And there's only one ship and there's no base rating in there. So there's like a raid thing, but it's all online. It's only when you click on the button, which right now on this server that I play, I don't know actually the name of that server yet, but I don't see that information. I haven't had time to look it up yet. So it looks like pretty good. Now it's a bit of a risk to leave the Mayflower out here, but I got a tiny bit of hull left, you know, so it doesn't make a big deal. I don't want to spend the time, you know, to do more than that. So, but I should check on my second account. There's, you got to manage your peace shields well. Basically, keep it well protected. And like, because you got backup power on your internet. Your internet works when there's power outages. It's not bad. But there's times where you can't log in. You know, and the shields are in units that are kind of interesting. There's a 1, 4, 8, and 12. So if you put 12s up at night, you'll be well protected. You can sleep in. You can have a nice breakfast and log in. But if you put an 8 and you sleep 8 hours, it doesn't work. And at the lower levels, nobody cares much. You know, you have such small amounts, so it's not a big deal. But it is kind of a pain. But it will set you back. And in this game, all the bases can be viewed by anybody. There's no research to make it private or a requirement where you have to have a ship in there. And there's other games like EVE Online where nobody had a base. And all the stations were like public domain, so it was a little different. But it was a really beautiful game. Now the new one you see being advertised on YouTube and stuff is actually another EVE Online, so like a 2020 version, you know. So, alright, see, that's another bug here. It's not only the lag, it's actually, I think the application itself has too much software being run at one time. So it's actually jamming up, which is a common problem. There's like 100 lines of code being shut through one channel in a register, it gets stuck. You know, it's that simple. So you slow things down. Now I got like a 10 crap at the bottom here. If I close everything, it helps a little, but it doesn't eliminate the problems. There's a lot of stuff happening on the screen here. And one thing I wish I could stop the animation in the background, you know, control things, even simplify this GUI a bit. Sometimes even use just like a 2D sprite animation instead of 3D rendered. A lot of other, you know, things. Like NavyField has less problems because it's more stable and less activity on the screen. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to quickly get out. You press this little reverse arrow. This will exit the game, and then you can press yes. Now both LDPlayer and BlueStacks has that button. If the description says ldplayer.com, I'm sorry, the real website is ldplayer.net. Oh, I'm so used to typing .com and I didn't realize both sites were different. So the other one's actually a website I think that has just a generic placeholder. So you're wondering what the processor of my laptop here I use. It's about 2.5 gigahertz, so it's real nice. One of the newer Intels, but not the newest ones that are actually in the labs. There's research that actually goes 100 years, you know, in the future. So, like a real Millennium Falcon was built in the 70s for the movie, and that wasn't even the first spaceships built. There's not a huge difference between a spaceship and a boat or a large vehicle. It's still made out of the same steel. You know, the propulsion system is a little different, but when you look at the raw material, it's all stuff that you've learned in school, especially if you've gone, even by high school, a lot of people almost learned all the basic information. So definitely you gotta make, work, create, and save. So sometimes you just gotta focus on saving. So this image here is one you actually see in the Google app. I guess in the first year of this game, this was the original. I never saw it, so this is kind of cool. There's like a NCC, like I guess that's a solid. It looks like 0514, but I don't know. Alright. I gotta log into my second account quickly, so I'll do that on camera, I think, for you guys. So now when I'm not streaming or recording, and this is not live, it's recorded here, so it actually runs a little faster. So and I've changed some options on here to make it run a little smoother, like the pixels, and put the RAM down. As by default, I think it's set for me to like 2024 megabytes. Here we go. So we got one of these. These are a little bit different. It used to be just regular threat from beyond. Now it's like heroic threat. So now I like to get a head start because the morning's hectic for me and I got a lot of issues that slow me down in the morning. Besides hardware, internet, and just the environment here. Because where I am, it is hot. You might hear a noise. That's actually a fan being blown on me. Whole unit. It's a standing fan. So uncommon gas. I really want this, but I really wish the refining rate would be fixed. Every update since I started this game, I'm hoping. I hope to find where that is and finish that work. So we all get 100% refining rate. You get hundreds, thousands of stuff. The other thing is the balance in the game would be nice, you know, that any ship can win against another ship, and that you can actually go manual and actually opt out of PvP. You know, there's some people who want to go PvP only servers. We can do that too. And if you like transfer from server to server, you know, it costs like a token or something, which makes sense. So, or maybe you can Latinum it or something. So, whatever. There's a lot of ways to do it. The more you learn about software, the better it is. Now, you want to take your time, right? It's a pace. You only got a solid 6 hours a day where you're actually doing the most of your work. So the rest of it, you're just kind of resting and waiting in between. So that was the heroic one. And for this level account, I have to do level 28. So that is the requirement. Now, the threat from beyond, that's the regular one. All I gotta do is just hit any swarm, and those are real easy now. But in the beginning of the game, a 15,000 ship is a lot of power for you. You start with a ship that's literally only 100 strong, only a little bit of rare gas, one unit only of uncommon. Now I understand why these numbers are so low, because the balance is not really ready. Like if everybody went through the ships real quick, it would probably hurt and damage the server itself, but also your own device, you know what I mean? And honestly, the amount of time you spend in this game will be just a small part of your life. So alright, so I think we're ready to try this. Part of me here wants to refine these charged nano probes too. So, oh, if you're wondering about this, this is actually once you build the VDAR, you get these in your store. So maybe you get them. So it's like 175. Yeah, it's 60 Federation credits. So I can open up only, I think, one every day. So in a month, that's like 600, so that's like 3, not every 10 days, so, okay. So I'm trying to do some math here. So let's take a look at Threat from Beyond I like, because the number of ships was a lot less than the last event. So, I think it's about half, to be honest, but someday I'll break down the exact numbers for you guys. Heroic here. See, I really don't have any speed ups, but I need to do like the level 35s to unlock a set of speed ups. Now I could do just the heroic one. Now the nice thing here, I put my two bases, major ones, next to each other. And most of my alliances on the same ring area, so if I look, I can see if the shields are still up, just by pressing the little green button. Now we got one guy here who isn't shielded up. So, but he's only level 20, so my bad, love. That's not his real name, that's just his, like, nickname. Now, I like to actually, that's weird, it says no cargo, that's kind of interesting. There's SKT guy here. Well, there's a level 29 SKT guy that blew me off a rock today, so I'm kind of upset about that, but it worked out. I needed to be free of the rock to do the event, but I started later than I wanted. So. I did type that 8 or 12 hours, so before I used to do 8s because there wasn't much activity against my account, but the guys in their level upper 20s and 30s, you get more people raiding, so especially if you look around your system, you got the highest amounts, you're going to be a likely target, I guess I could take it easier. Now I'll show you the little supplies. Now I had a lot more speed ups, but not thousands. Like the top players in the game have. I got 70s 30 days. I don't even think I even had 7. Well, thanks, Scopy. Let's go ahead and repair this here. You see, this is the few. This is the full list. Sometimes there are 3 and 5 hour ones that don't show up because it seems like if the time's below that, it'll hide it, or within like an hour, round it off. So. Actually, make things faster, I could put both ships here and hit these hostiles here. I get 1 point no matter what hostile I hit. So let's try to get all of them now. Now this is kind of boring to watch. I have a set of missions. Now there's a time restriction on some of these missions. I think they have to be done within like 8 days only. So people are racing to do this. And your missions can disappear, especially these event ones. I've had like the first 2 set aboard. People that started the game back in 2018 had the most time. People actually were developers have the very most time, you know. So alright, there's a waypoint here. Even though I just restarted, you know, I keep getting this bug where I can't see stuff here. And this happens on other devices too. So well, let's take a look at how much RAM I'm burning here. Wow, not 5 gigs. You know, when I start up Windows, it's almost at 2 or 3 already. So we're still in single digit gigs at this time, but it's not only because of that, it's also the way the software is allocated, how much code's being processed, how fast it is. Sometimes it's too fast, it needs to be average, or sometimes slow. Or having a stop button could save you sometimes from crashing. So let's actually click. Now, if you haven't used this before, and I was afraid to use this first because I wasn't sure. I couldn't find like a video easily. There should be like a link right here, like help video, how to use this, whatever, or some simple instructions on the screen. We're gonna run the second one here. So each of these are actually different instances or copies or duplicates of the software. Now you can rename them and you can set them up differently and put different Google accounts on each of them. So let's go to interior. I can take a look inside my base. Well, this one's loading here. It's kind of a nice image. It looks like a like a rocket. Antiquated rockets that we have in this time, like SpaceX, really need a lot more safety and strength and power and even sensors and stuff, cameras, you know, even a lot of extra stuff to make it completely safe. So, alright, so I got a little bit of titanium there. Kind of weird. Brought me to a waypoint. Sometimes that happens when you click on locate. It brings you to a waypoint that isn't where the ship is. So now you can see its normal view. This is what I see. The same ships, but with a symbol. If you look carefully, there's actually a box here that's being overlaid. It's kind of a different, darker tone, you know. So I'm using this ship not only because it's already set up, but there's actually XP related to that. Alright, so things are running normally now, thank God. And we're going to do this cage animals. Now I'm putting this thing, which is a star. Now you grew up in my time, this would confuse you. You didn't really think software would have just pictograms or pictographs, but this is actually a favorite thing to push it to the top. Now it doesn't always go straight to the top, like right now it's at the top, but later on it could be pushed somewhere on this list here. Now you only see the first 5, right? And there's no way to like change the view, the size yet. I hope that can happen. But this is a really nice layout. I know the whole team worked very hard on this. You know, everybody from Unity to Star Trek to Fleet Command to Scopely Digit and CBS Interactive as well. A long list of people. Not including the hardware, you know, which I worked on, my father worked on for decades. So I'm up to that time too. So, 'cause I'm almost 40, and I wish I felt younger. So, all right, so we got a waypoint here. First mission is caged animals here. Now that's the one where you buy 10, you can use your 10 keys or whatever. And there's some good rewards. I've already done this mission on my level 25 account. So even though it says recommended level 28, you could probably pull this whole set with a Cura. It's just the warp range for these like level 27s are a little high, but you couldn't do it with like a level 1 Cura. But you probably do it with at least a level like 20. That's I think what I have. So, which I know if you just started the game recently, I'm sorry. But hopefully the mission will still be there the whole this month and next month, and you'll be able to complete it. Now, if it disappears, remember it's still there. It's just out of your view. So if you ask Scopy to help you with that, you can, that might work, but you may want to learn how to unlock that. Because if you could clone this game, you know, and run it, and get like the save file, like in Fallout Shelter or in the first Fallout game, you know, you can have a lot of interesting fun. And there is a save file for this game. You just haven't found it yet. When I do, I'll share that information with you guys. Or Scopy might do it first before with all of us, or Star Trek, who is the owner of the game. So, but you're also owner of your copy of the game too. So, alright, that's a help thing. Now you're wondering why I'm doing that. You actually get points for a daily goal, which gives you rewards, alliance credits specifically. So. Now I want to keep an eye on here, and I'd like to be ready at least 30 seconds or a minute. So you gotta kind of do the math, you know. Now if you think you're gonna be interrupted, please don't start something and then be pissed. Silly. Oh, here, I was trying to look at how many more I need. I need 13. So if you can run 2 accounts on the same device, right, or 2 separate devices too, with 2 separate Googles, and they'll give you 2 different IDs, you can give yourself helps, and that'll save your resources. So in the beginning, the amount of resources you donate is not much, and that's easy to do. That actually increases the contribution to your alliance too. And we're gonna run this one. Now if you wait a little while and go slow, sometimes it runs better. Or so I can actually close. And yes, that's a book I bought and I'm reading. Actually, I wanted to save a copy of this book, so let's go to my computer. Okay. I can only choose from there. That's weird. Okay, it's kind of like frozen. I'm running too much software. It's only 5 gigabytes. Alright. Now, for now, I'm just gonna shove it in this stuff. Now, I did repartition my hard drive. I don't like when it says optimizing for fast speed. Sometimes when it optimizes stuff, it makes the quality worse, you know. And sometimes optimizing is just really optimizing, so it's hard to tell, right? Now we're about a minute away from the destination, so my strong advice is to be ready. You know, I practice a lot, so I can jump in. Plus, I kind of know the timings. Like usually within 30 seconds or less, you'll drop out of warp, and then your ship will end up in the system. So, while we're waiting here, let's go ahead and take a look at the second account, see how far it's loaded. And we're a winner of something, or oh, it's part of the thread from beyond. Forgot I was doing that event. So if you look closely, the events are a little different. This is like a battle pass outlaw, Mud and Khan. I like Mud's character more than Khan. Like Khan always dies in the movies. I hate to ruin it for you guys, because the first movie came out like in the 80s. So if you're a Star Trek fan, you haven't seen that movie now. That's kind of odd, or at least heard the basic storyline. Oh, it's loading really slow here. On this multiplayer control thing does use a little bit of resources on your hardware. So actually, I think I can close this and close that. This Google Chrome uses almost like a gig of RAM by itself, sometimes more. I've seen it use up to 4 gigs. So now sometimes it's a faster, more powerful browser, but it costs more to use. So that's why I have other ones installed that use less. And also the older versions of Chrome use less. So okay, at this rate my ship might be dead by the time it loads. Which is okay. I got like 2 destroyed ships, and it's early in the event. It's only the first like hour and a few minutes here. Now operations here, I don't want to click that. I really gotta remember not to click that. I want to stay at the level I'm at right now. Okay, so what do I do first here? Let's accept the Alliance help. Now the Alliance helps only stay there for a while. Like there's actually a time here, and this will automatically be taken away. So. Let's see, I'm down to 4 hours and 33 minutes. So let's go ahead and put a 12 hour, because I have a lot of those. I made a mistake. I'm not buying enough 1 days. So, and then let's go ahead and click on Alliance. Buy some more 1 days here to correct that mistake right now. Oh, good. It loaded and there's nothing around me. Now, the nice thing about the update is the automatic fire doesn't come on as often. Sometimes it's not absolute, so I gotta be careful. Now, I can actually run both of them. Now, this can run a little bit smoother, and I'm trying to learn every little thing how to optimize this. I really like relocation tokens. I just feel like there's going to be an event someday where I just move around. So I only have 180. I think 100's enough for 1 day, but if it's not, I'll save my credits. Now the price used to be higher, but I think it's gone down. That the game's made enough money and it's older, and there's been time and budget put into the work it takes to, you know, release these updates, as they say. Oh, it is 100. Now I did make a video where it seems to be cheaper at the lower levels, but there was an update between that, and maybe, you know, all the level accounts are cheaper now. So it seems so. Because the 4 accounts I have, they're all different levels. So they're 28, 25, 14, and 7. Which 3 of those are multiples of 7 if you're into that kind of stuff. Alright, thank God. Alright, can you understand? Let's get to the lab. Now on this side here, I don't need to use, this is warp range 23. Now, interestingly, your VDAR may be underpowered, but it can hold rocks and has a warp range that is farther than your Cura, and this is like a tier, I think 6 Cura too. So. Now, interestingly, your tiers are not listed, but your level will be listed in the management screen. So let's take a look at that. So it says level 30. So it does say, oh, it does say tier, sorry, my mistake. Common tier 6. So that's gonna take 10 minutes for me to run all the way the heck back. So I really hope I didn't have to do anything there. I'd rather wake up early and get a head start on this stuff. I can go to this point here. Now sometimes when you have mission waypoints, I call it automatic fighter, but it's also labeled as like a trading fighter and usually like a faction name in the front. So it took me like 3 clicks to open that up. That's kind of interesting. Kind of wondering if my mouse is working well. Alright, let's see what we're a winner of. We're lagging real hard, so I'm going to continue to close stuff here. Now, some stuff I'm just going to do tomorrow. It's one of my ideas, actually having an app and a website called Money in Business. So, uncommon get. So I got the first reward here. Very good. And then, alright, let's just accept these rewards here. This dialogue is from Khan. Sorry if I skip and don't let it load all the way. The image is the same, it replays, so you've seen it once. If you've seen Khan in the real movies, that's more interesting, to be honest. If you actually meet, God, I can't remember his first name, but Mr. Cumberbatch, he's the actor that plays the new Khan. Well, Ricardo Montego, I think was the original one from the movie in the 80s, or maybe it was the 70s. So, the one with the William Shatner character. So, now you're probably wondering, why am I moving all the way up here? I'm trying to keep the ship alive here. If I want to be the safest, I would actually warp out of the system or just press home, which is the most safest. You know, your starbase dry dock is the safest place for that ship. If the P shield's up. So, it's not visible when it's there at least, you know. Alright, so I don't know why I went back to that. Cage animals. So it says defeat the guard ship. Okay. Now most often this guard ship appears after you come to the waypoint, and it'll have a yellow exclamation upside down teardrop or water drop, sorry, icon. There is, I remember the ship being about 133 power, and then it kind of goes up. 153, okay. So there's some ships in this series that are 133, some that are 153, and then some that are actually 204,000 power. So if you're a new player, you got a couple months at least to level up your ship. So it's possible to do with the Kira. And your Kira is like even 110, 5K. You could probably pull this off too. So I don't know how much damage the ship is doing per round. My ship, interestingly, is listed when it's at full power, right? But like when the hull is missing, it doesn't last as many rounds, you know? So that is the ship's power, but the hull is a different story, right? We can click on that Romulan guard ship. You're wondering what that is? That's actually like I think a legionary or centurion. It's part of the Romulan stuff, which you actually see in the TV shows. Alright, Mud saying, I think we got all of them. Right, I'm being extra cautious right now. I don't got much left here. Oh, look at that, we got rewards here. Nice. Very cool. Now these 3 ships, you see I got, these are actually blueprints here. It's not like you actually get 40 of these ships. That wouldn't make any sense. But, and it does cost multiple blueprints to make one ship, so. Now, a good question is, how many blueprints does it cost to make the Enterprise E? Now, I call it the Enterprise E because, you know, it's different. And it's at like level 34, you can build that ship, shipyard, of course, which is different than your ops. You unlock the ops, but it takes a while to get up to you. You got to do that first before you can unlock all the other ones. It's always the ops or operations building is the control. So for the rest of your building upgrades, inside and out. So very important building. All right, we got crystal here. No, I accept the rewards first here. Now, since accepting rewards, lines load, and for me that works the best. So. Otherwise, I keep loading more stuff. That thing flashes, right? And it's trying to tell me we got 16th, so that's really cool. So good job, OPM. Thank you. And to all your friends and family, too. Some of the best guys I've ever met have been on that team, including Felix. So, he's been in a lot of my videos, probably the most for this game. So, if you're wondering where he's from the land down under. Oh, that it's literally what they call it, right? Isn't that on their money or something? Or the logo, like on their stuff there. All right, so we got the event stuff. I wish I could see how many speed ups I have before I press this repair, but I'm gonna just do it. So, all right. So I got enough here. There's 100 something repairs, which is a lot, because you start with 0, I guess. But you can't actually see your inventory at first. So. Now in some games like Final Fantasy VII, certain things you have so much extra, you never spend it. Have you ever played that Sony PlayStation version? Even the PC one is about the same. So, but in this game it's different. You definitely have to save your resources here. And this rock here is like a full 18K ready for me to use. I hope there's not a mining event. So let's see. I have like nothing prepared on one account, only one rock ready. The second account's not so bad. The reason I don't press the thing to level up to 26 because at just that one level difference, things get a lot harder. And your ships aren't ready, which is part of it is your base upgrades to have to be ready. But there's a limit. You can only do as high as your ops will go. Hopefully I'll be able to get here before somebody shoots me out. Now on this server, I think an American one, it's not so bad. But the ROE thing is weird. Because the prime directives first. So some people push that on you, and it's individual. Because you're the only account, not them. So if they want to PvP you, they should ask you. There should be a control for that. I'm sure there is, but they just haven't enabled it, which is weird for going almost the 4th year of this software simulation. Let's call it that. I'm just looking here at things real carefully. Now, if you're scrolling, don't go as fast as you can to hurt yourself and hurt the machine. Because guys like me have to repair this stuff or find you a replacement. It's a lot of work, you know. Sad to see something go early too. Alright, so we got an officer event, a station event. Thank God it's not a platinum mining rush thing. So, this is too much work, you know, already. Or a lot of work. Now, if I had a more comfortable setup, you know, 2 dedicated machines, maybe an assistant who's good at helping. Ooh, there's some comment gas there. Now, you need this right now to get your ship up, and that's fine. But I'm actually trying to save to win because I've never won first place at these higher levels. Now, I did win a first place on the officer one, and I would say the officer one is easier because you get more of that XP. There's events where you get officer XP. But the ship XP is hard, you know, really hard to get a lot. Unless you card a ton, you're always buying ship packs. And you're one of the first players in the game, and of course you're going to win a lot. So I'm going to be patient. Now, there's a good significant amount in there. You can go for it, and I used to do that. You know, anytime it was Latinum, I would just collect that because I could use that to get my ships up. Now that my ships have a significant amount of power, I don't need as much, and I prefer to wait for better rewards. Now, even if I can get a first place in because the server ranking is actually limited to a certain range. So, I like that 3D rendering of Khan here. There's mud. Now, he actually looks like a cousin of mine. So Harvey, that guy looks like you. If you can, Harvey Rojas. So, look him up on Facebook, guys. His sister married my uncle, so. Alright, so this mission's cage animals. You get 200 credits, and those are really expensive, so don't waste them. Like at first everybody kind of goes for the recruit tokens because the crew feels like it's universal and you can use it on any ship, right? But really, you should focus on getting the ship more and getting prints. You know, at first I wasn't sure which one I could do first, or I had a hard time remembering everything. The other thing is I don't have a clear list anywhere in this game, and there's not a site that has it listed. Just the information you need, you know, clearly and all that. So. Now, did the ship get destroyed already? Oh, shoot. ship got destroyed. Alright, out of all the ships I want to repair, I'd rather do the Mayflower. And then I'm going to try to do the next part of this mission for you guys. Alright, this ship's coming in. Nó đang quay phim. Chưa xong. 5 cân chị. Alright, so we're doing the next mission, Sanctum here. I'm gonna kind of go, I'm not gonna stop here yet. So, we try to save time, right? Oh, definitely gonna accept this help here. I wish I didn't have to load this kind of flash screen and I could do some stuff. Or like this helper, I just could click help or put auto help and it would accept all the helps. Even if there's like a 5-second delay or 1 minute delay, that'd be fine. Versus having to click, look at the help and go back and forth. Now the manual part is good too, and you know we want to keep that, but it'd be nice to have something that was perfectly automated, which can be done. Alright, so my only ship that I have left is this one here. So we're going to try and run and do this. Now that kind of makes it hard for me to do the threat from beyond thing. Now, I don't care so much about the heroic, to be honest, right now, because it's not related to the battle pass points. And it's hard for me to do 28s. My only ship that does the most is like the Mayflower. But I think in one run I can only do like 3 or 4 swarm at a time. So let's take a closer look at the rewards. I have enough titanium saved, even though you see the warehouse number is different there. See, this is only 3 units of uncommon gas. There's actually, oh my god, there's like actually battle pass points in there. Okay. Is my ship there? Now, there's another bug here which is new, where your ship's there, other people can see you, but you can't see your own ship. Literally like invisibility. Like watch, my ship is next to this rock, it's 1 second away and I'll lock on. Other people can see it, just move on, but I can't. It's crazy. Now on this account I have to attack prior level 26s or something, so we'll worry about that later. So the battle plus points are actually on both events. That's kind of interesting because it used to be on one side only. So I'm only like 600 away from the next reward. I should do these, but you don't know how many are left, right? This is only like the 3rd, 4th day event. We got a lot to go through. There's literally like 10 more or 7 more things here. So let's go all out. So, because we're deep in Star Trek now. It's like deep space, a trillion now, not 9. So, Benjamin didn't have to command like 4 bases. We had the Defiant. I missed that ship. This is a lot easier than damn Enterprise. So it's like a nice cozy ship you could probably put your family in, you know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So it was actually one of my favorite ships. Sometimes I wish I saw it first. But the Enterprise looks like it's like oversized. All sorts of stuff like that. Alright, this ship's coming all the way to here. So we're gonna do the threat from beyond. I should use my speed ups right now. Wow, it works out perfectly. Yeah. There's a 5-minute free period always, so, on your ship repairs, so, and on everything else too. Researches, upgrades, tier ups, so. Ship construction too. So under that time it turns green and you can, it says free if you click on it. It does that. Let's see what swarm we can hit here. Ideally I would upgrade my Franklin, but frequency modulators, I'm really far behind on that. I didn't do all the goals on this account every single day. Otherwise, I'd have a little bit stronger Franklin. So, this is the wrong system. I made this mistake once. I actually got to go up to level 28. So, now if I hit a 30, I think I get a ton of points at it one time maybe. So, thankfully, there's no automatic trading fighter in any of the swarm systems, unlike the rest of, like, half the galaxy is like that. So like all faction space, augment space, which is one of the factions, and then those systems have a trading fighter that comes out which has like god mode. It's basically cheating. So it literally respawns almost forever or many times. So if you've had some experience and you know your connection is going to drop, you got to stabilize your connection or not do something very important while, like, send your ship in. And if you know it's going to happen, so. Sorry. Keep looking. Wow, it's 25 million tritanium here. I do have a card that's in the mail. I wish I could card this stuff, to be honest. It'd be fun. Well, it's kind of a lot of pressure when you card it. You get a lot of extra stuff. Now I gotta be like more secure. So I'd rather do it when this game becomes free. Or when, whatever. It's like in the bargain bin. Alright. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to think of what I'm supposed to look at. So, threat from beyond. You know, one thing I don't like is that the details aren't always listed, but it makes it a cleaner look, so it is easier to look. And I guess these like little secret buttons here are kind of cool at first. So if I hit a level 30, I can get 10 full points, right? So that would be only like 15 ships here, 150 points. As far as this one, and I would get 15 points for the other threat from beyond, which is really easy. Now you can actually do that with like your 2-star ships. Like your Findra can pull it off. So I don't think your Orion can ever get strong enough to hit a level 15, which is your 1-star battleship. But your Findra, which is your first 2-star ship, can definitely finish off many of the 15 swarm, especially when it's maxed out. So. And your Talos is even stronger. Taurus is sometimes pretty good. It's odd because it depends on the day too. Like some days it just does better. You know? So we're gonna fly to the level 30 system. This is my strongest ship with almost my strongest crew. So we'll see. Ideally I'd repair everything, put it out for mining tonight, or finish up all my dailies from today. You know, I'm kind of late here. So here, the problem is my secondary ship is not as strong. So I'm actually going to this ship can be used for threat from beyond, like level whatever. What is that? The level 10s or something? Level 10s, level 15s and up. There's no level 1 swarm as far as I know, at least on the server I see. I'm sure it could exist. There are level 1 ships though. So that would be nice if you could do that. You literally have like the least risk with that ship, especially versus the ships that you get later on, like this nice little cure. One of my favorites because it's always the cheapest to repair out of your first, you know, it's 3-star ships you get, or 3 grade, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go to like a level 16 system here. Let's go all the way to the end here. Actually, this ship isn't dead end. There's actually a connection here. You just don't see it very well. It's kind of faded. Can we zoom in on the system here? No, I can't zoom in further. Okay. But this is what the galaxy looks like all the way out. So. So let's accept some of those rewards there that are sitting there. I'll click on OK. It looks like I'm already in the system. So we have daily goals here. Now these do, they say they expire, and they do expire, but you can get all this stuff back if you learn how. So if you look at my Fallout Shelter video, which I hope is on this channel, I did make it. There's a save editor that has a website. You can just do it right online. Of course, you could do it yourself with like a hex editor, or maybe a notepad editor, so, or notepad itself. There's Notepad++. That's what I think of when I think of notepad editors. So there's also a Word pad that might work. All right, so we got that. I haven't got my loyalty badges, so let's try to hit one of these level 30s. This is pretty much, I can get a little stronger, like I think 488 is the best I can do. And this swarm looks like it's tougher now. Look at that. I could have sworn this was like 905 before. Okay. Let's see if we can hit this 950,000 ship without getting blown up. Or I'm gonna lose the whole, like 90% of the haul here. That's what I'm guessing. I got the first 10 points. Look at that. You see how much I lost? I probably won't survive the second one. So. But you need a quick 10, that's the way to get it. So. And the other way is to hit 28s. The problem is 28s, sometimes I can only do like 5 at a time. So and you think the 28 ships are the same power as like your regular 28s. It is different. Like your 28s in Federation, Romulan, or Klingon space are only sometimes, like, you know, in the Subulan, like augment and neutral space, they're only like 100k, you know, but the swarm are somehow super powered. So like this is a 605,000. So now older games like Colony Wars or Freelancer, the enemies are kind of tiered up. Now each level it only goes up like 1,000. Even in Final Fantasy, numbers looked high. Well, you could always win, but you have 3 members in your party. I think pretty much all the time you could always put 3. So I don't think anybody ever played with just one player through the whole game. So sometimes you had a character that was, like added to your party, but you didn't really have a choice. It was just part of the storyline, the main storyline. Alright, let's see how many of these 28s we can hit with this paint. I don't know, that looks like less than a third, but more than a quarter. So like, that doesn't look like 30%. So what is that? Whatever chunk of the hull is left there. The meters are pretty accurate in this game most of the time. But it's hard to read like how much you got left there. Alright, so I was able to hit one. I'll let the shield recharge. Now it seems if you give it a little more time, it does better. So, lesson in patience. Here's your level 16 swarm where you can see the power, 21,645. So. And then, this part here, this is actually crude the way I want it for now. I can just send it back up. I checked that because there's like two different setups I have, like there's actually more, but two main ones, right? Like how fast it mines. There's one where I put Barat and it mines crystal faster. So right now there's a lot of rocks open. There's literally 4 just on the top. I think these systems have 23 rocks total. That's a lot. Sometimes there's none for hours here. So. Now I think for this account I have to hit 26 for the event. Let's see which one gives me 10 points. I think level 26 swarms are about 191. Or is that the level 24s are 191, I think. And the 26s are like 300 something power. So the first number is the most important. Even though sometimes a little extra. So 26 is your 10. I can't defeat many with my current Kira, so I'm gonna actually wait for my VOC to be ready. So it's stronger. It's over 100,000, about 100,000, a little over 100,000 more strength points. So that's what it's called in this game. It actually says strength when you're in the management screen. So we're just gonna use it for the swarm or the regular swarm. So even if I can hit those 10 pointers, there would be a gap of about 60 ships. So plus I haven't finished the dailies too. So this shit's really only best for the like level 15 plus. But, you know, you can hit 16, 17s, probably like the first like I think 5 numbers are there, but after that it's the numbers go up by like multiples of 2. And it's like 21, then it goes up to like 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. So, which makes sense. There was like all the number swarm system, the galaxy map would be too big. So, for this level, at some point in the future, we're gonna get to terabyte everything. That's gonna be interesting. Oh wow, I have like no hull love here. There's probably no way I'm gonna survive with one more 28. So what do I do here? Now I need this ship here. So alright, I just destroyed it. So I can get it back in the dock quicker. Now this repair time is horrible. Look at that, 4 hours and 44 minutes. What on earth? So, and there's ships that are like 1,000,000 power that have almost the same repair time. So, we're gonna put this into, this is actually a battle pass score file I'm making. We'll make a new one here. So this is actually Microsoft Office Word. So, and this is going to be the weird thing is, and I remember why this time is so bad. I should put only a survey ship in that first dock, and that's usually I have it set up. This dry dock D right here, for me, is actually lower level, so that's why the time's so long. But this ship here might do better against the swarm, but sometimes it does horrible, so it's kind of weird. Like, more consistent is my NavyField. So let's give it a try here. I might get lucky and be able to attack like 3 level 30 swarm. See, now all the speed ups I have left here add up to less than like an hour and a half. So then I'm gonna have to go into my lateral stuff. So maybe I should have, when I had this, I just realized maybe a mistake here. I should have used the Mayflower to defeat level 34 ships so I could get a few more speed ups, you know. That helps me save the latinum I need. So, if you look in daily goals here, I think I only needed 4 more. So. Which we can still do now. We might have to do it with the Kamari. because it kind of locks you into repairs here. So I don't have much here. I'm gonna use one of these. I'll save the rest just in case. But sometimes you need these little repairs to finish off a repair. These smaller times are still useful. So I don't know. Let's go like 58. There we go. And the rest will platinum. So we use a, you know, the price for a 3 hours is the same as 2 1 hours. I'll just go straight to that. It's 30 platinum. Okay, that's not bad. And we'll put this into repairs here for now. Oh, I should be grabbing the help since I come through here. Now, if you're wondering about how long does it take to send one help, it's around 30 seconds. So the ship repair here is already here. Sometimes it's faster. So, all right. So instead of attacking the super swarm here, let's go for the level 34 trader ships, which hopefully are here. So this system here has level 34s, level 35s, and 36s. So usually it's about a 3 ship level range here. I'm getting the bug again. I've gotten this bug almost like 10 times a day. See, before you could see the levels, now it changes where I can't mine. I can't target a mining ship, but I can scam. Maybe I can scam the ship, but I can't. You can't target a rock. Like these rocks, I think are empty. Oh, they got people in them. Never mind. People and ships. So I can see the ships, but it's just I gotta do this. I wish there was like 2 overlays or a little reset on the overlay you can do. The only thing I know to do here is just restart the whole app, and it works for a while. You know, I'm lucky if it runs like almost the whole day, and I only have to restart once. So now we're low on memory. Alright, it's getting late too, and I should turn in. Just try to wake up tomorrow. This event isn't too bad. Sometimes when you get that error you see there, the app will still work. So, alright, so that's going to be there for 7 hours. This here, I want more speed ups right now. I can hit level 31s. If I want the threat from beyond first, then, you know, it's kind of an odd thing. Do the second one, but it helps sometimes, and then you get more speed ups, then you can have more resources you need. No, I'm gonna try to go for the speed ups here, so I'm gonna go with this system here. I'm trying to remember 28 how I can do here. Are the 10 pointers 28s on this account? I just looked at it, I can't remember. I wish the information was like on the corner here, or in a box or something. It was buried all the way in the event button. You have to load like that Star Trek Fleet Command screen, what the computer does. So it's 26s. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. I can actually go straight to that. That's actually a little closer. So, wondering how this controller works. You click stop, you actually stop the ship. Once it drops out of warp, you can actually redirect it to a new system. So, yeah, I'm waiting here. I'm gonna just hit one of these ships here. Now we go to Galaxy. Now, one new feature about this emulator that I just learned is that there's actually a script built-in thing that I'd like to try tomorrow, to be honest. So let's go to 26. No, that's the wrong ship. Actually, I want this ship to get there. Okay, that's going to take 5 minutes and 22 seconds. And on this side, we'll just continue to hit 16s here. It takes a while, one ship at a time. It's almost 30 seconds sometimes, you know, from the time it takes you to select the ship and for that ship to click. Even if it was automated, it still takes a lot of time. You're looking at almost 20 seconds of ship. There's the fly time, battle time, kind of an in-between transition time. The problem is, I think if you select another target right away, sometimes you don't get the attack button. Oh, you do, okay. So you just target like the nearest ones, because the points are the same. All the swarm are, thank God, the same number, so. And the same power. Alright, so that's really easy to do. Now this one's looks like it's bugged out now. We'll give it a moment here. Press this button, let's see if it does anything. I feel like it just froze, so. Which is interesting. I press this home button. Sometimes it'll close this and actually I'll be able to look at the home screen. But the window itself is probably still working. See, that part's still working. So we'll give it a few more seconds to see if it continues to work correctly. But on this side here, I can probably finish the event a lot faster. So. Yeah. See, that's like the last screen of what I saw on the other thing. Alright, we waited long enough, so to give it a break, we're just going to exit, just go down to one emulator. And then, let's close one of these here. So I gotta remember to keep like a mining ship on .B, so. And then I gotta probably level it up, to be honest. So. Now I would always do that one, but the problem is, I kind of save it for that daily goal where you have to complete one construction. So I got a lot of stuff here, but let's go to my videos. That's what I remember the shortcut I can press. I actually have a Star Trek Fleet Command folder. Let's just put ship repair times. In the beginning, you'd think like, okay, ships is enough, but then like if you put like 1,000 files in one folder, it's so hard to find anything. So you actually have to separate them into more folders. So. And hopefully my hard drive has enough place to record this next video. We're just gonna keep hitting these here. see what we want on this side. So this thing I can just close now. I'm not gonna have time to look at this one. I've already bookmarked it for later. And then the Alibaba cloud thing. Oh, this is a plan I have here. It's actually specs I gotta remember for the new home we're building. So statistically, every 6 years there's always like a major event, you know, that happens with the weather. So uncommon refined gas. Okay, so we just won that. The cloud here. Oh wow, I still got like Facebook. I don't care about the landmark thing. I already closed that. Just don't worry about tomorrow. That one I've read that once, but I can read that tomorrow. I don't want to read it now, to be honest. This is a free series here for cloud training, which might be useful if you're not familiar with that. There's some of the people there that you'll probably won't meet. Some people that work for the cloud here, Alibaba Cloud. So we'll mark back. That's, I guess, one of my sponsors now for the show. So they provide the labor. So every business and every person's important. And this is actually a list for a run for $1 million here. So cool. Companies I've never heard of, like, that's not perfect, but Prefect, or Pre-Effect, rodeo and ranch equipment. Very cool. That's neat. I've never actually seen that. Alright, so let's go to layer K. Over here it seems more stable, interestingly. Let's go ahead and hit 26 here. Now it says hard. If I maxed out this ship, I could do better, but it's a waste of the resources. I don't have enough. You find out you don't have enough resources, even if you card your credit card, like, let's say $10 every day for every month you play. That's $300 a month, you know, which is a crazy amount of money for a game that's not worth that much. I mean, you know, one copy of the game. You're not buying the whole game, you know. It's not like I get everything here for that price. But that's how these like super high price games are now. And even back before video games were around, it was about the same. You know, like a phonograph or a telegraph or whatever. You know, $1,000 was something a lot of people had back in the day too. You know, there were $1,000 bills made back in like the 18th century. So the number 1,000's been around forever. So that's not uncommon as you think. So we might be able to do the whole event here, just with one ship. So this is real. I really like this level. It's one of my favorite ones out of all the 20 so far. So I'm up to 28, and I can do Ops 29, but I can barely do the data goals right now. I don't want to go up higher. Look at that. Uncommon, 190 units, but no all common. So I guess that's not bad. I'm gonna close this one. Now there's some engineering specs here where I'm looking at like this most. Now, if you're having problems with taxes, a lot of people feel like they're forced to pay, and that's really not true. You can appeal and deduct most of your taxes, but it does take some work in formalizing, and sometimes you have to bring in the rest of the tax team, not just the person you talk to. So don't give up. You know, it's your money. If you need it, you can keep it all, you know. And the government doesn't actually need all that extra tax money. You know, it's hard to understand that sometimes. They do say it, because they have direct access to the treasury, and they have savings, and they have other sources of income, loans, and all sorts of things. So every level of government, even the district, is a lot bigger than your home. Most people's homes. I mean, people that are multi-millionaires, okay, I guess the district is almost the same size as your home. You got like $100 million. But for guys who are only single millionaires, like 9 and below, you know, you're on a few acres, and a district's probably at least like nowadays, I don't know. And in America, a district is pretty big. So it feels like it's at least 50 or 100 acres. Or bigger. You've seen the district map, it's like a whole section of the city, right? So maybe it's like 500 acres at least, so, or 1,000. So. If I wanted to be the most careful, I guess, I would send this ship to go down the 16 and then come back and repair it. But since I want to just go and save the most time, I'll continue hitting the swarm here until the ship's destroyed, and then repair it and then run back up. So getting the rewards for everything now. So now that we have almost all the windows closed, we can run this control panel. This is actually a battle pass score thing. I need to go. This is kind of rounded, but I wish here I could like bookmark some stuff on this list. I've always been trying to figure that out, so I don't have to go through so many clicks, you know. So here's the battle pass events here. And we're gonna click back on the first image here. I'm gonna take a break tonight from the other 2 accounts. I really could care less what happens to them tonight. They're ships that are very easy to repair and don't cost much. Some are actually free when it comes to resources, so like the Rialta, your first ship in the game. Now, I don't think I've ever been able to hit 10 of these swarms. But of course my Vok is not at full power. It's only like tier 6, I think. Alright, I need 60 more points here. So 5 more ships, and then on the other side here, like, they're all 1-pointers. So it's a lot more ships on this side. But it's easier because they're all lower powered ships that you can all, you can do with just one ship and not have to spend repairs and run back and forth. So I prefer the threat from beyond versus the heroic. So sometimes, like right now, this heroic's pretty good. This is not bad. So, but at the lower levels, it was easier. So it seemed more fun, to be honest, but it was kind of less satisfying because your ship power is so low. You know what I mean? And you're so curious about the higher stuff. So, oh, well, now the good thing is if you select like stuff here and you press use, the one on the bottom here doesn't get used too. So thank God that's not wrong. Is it 5 minutes? And no, we're gonna wait those 30 something seconds here. But in the meantime, oh, there's a lot of stuff I need to check. Like one thing that comes to the top of my mind now, I didn't know it was kind of on the secondary list, is the number of one-day P shields. So it's good to have the stock that you need. Now, the 12s are easier, but sometimes you need to use your PvP ability, or you need to do a PvP event, which is rare, but I don't honestly know last year how many there were. PvPing is open like 24/7 for everybody. So let's take a look at our P shield supplies on this account. So we got a 4, 8, 12s. Okay, we got 7 of these, so that's pretty good. A little short on the 3 days. So let's go check the 3 days first while I got a chance here. This screen is loading. So that looks pretty nice there. So let's go to store. I kind of want to save all my Armada cores because I don't really need any of them right now, and I think you might get better rewards as you move up. So it's prudent to save it. Also, sometimes there's maybe like a special Armada event again, and you'll need those credits to get something nicer, maybe more, some unique item, right? New characters, shards for new characters, new ship parts in the future, a new ship, or improvement to existing ships. Let's see how much a 3 day is. I'm guessing it's 300 credits. It's 350. Okay, so I can't afford that. But to be prudent, I'm going to purchase it 1 day. Now, I've heard reports where your P shield doesn't work, right? And somebody's been able to get through. I would reinitiate the P shield. So if you put in like a 4 and then another one, it might work again. The other thing is maybe we should have multiple shields. There's a ceasefire shield, and the other thing is maybe armor on the base. You know, the shield looks weird where it's just, you know, it looks like it's so fragile. It doesn't look like a strong base at all. So something I hope if I ever rewrite or write a new Star Trek story, I would do that differently. Alright, so we're back in this account. I'll be down to one account pretty soon here. I always like to leave things for tomorrow, but then those 2-3 hours in the morning get pretty hectic for me. All sorts of issues. Furniture, lack of privacy. I don't have like kind of all the usual breakfast items I have, you know, like fresh milk and all that. It's pretty sad at what I have here. I mean, on the outside or on film it looks nice, but it's not better than America. So you might hear the president saying the quality of things around the world is less than what we have here in America. And that's true. Like, you travel to other countries, it's not as good. So you always hear the other saying there's no place like home, like the line from The Wizard of Oz, which is actually written before ever that movie was ever written or whatever. Oh, I got the loyalty badge. Awesome. I love it. That means more to me than it should, because it's not as much as all the daily goals, you know. Oh, look at that, that's nice. Oh, 12-hour peace shield. Oh, that's why I have so many. I actually get those in the daily goals. Alright. And then over here, there's a set of missions where I probably could do with the horizon the whole time now. So it says attack level 10 and level 28. So the easiest 28s are the one already in the system, I think. Some of these ships are 27 and some are 28. So you actually have to see the numbers or scan your ship if you can't restart if you get that bug where it loses the tag here. See, that second emulator is real stable, but this first one's not doing well here. Alright, so we're just going to hit the 28s here, because they're conveniently located. Oh, there's actually 3 levels here, sorry. So it's 28, 27, 29, and this is one of the new systems that's been added since update 19, which was implemented, as far as I know, about 3 days ago. Publicly, of course, in development has been there for a long time, you know, years, let's say, decades. I won't go further than that. So, good job to everybody. I enjoy most things in this new update, though 2 things I really hope to work on. And also, if I make a clone or kind of my own version of a Star Trek game, definitely the refining rate needs a lot of help. And then the lack of some automation is kind of bothersome too. So I'm gonna attack this one here and ruin my hull faster. I'm gonna be prudent because it's good to practice like the most control you find, you know. Like, you're so free with, so I hate to say it, but loose with how you spend stuff. It really hurts you in the long run. So sometimes, and I'm sorry to my members, they find me strict, or what's the other thing I've been called, like calculative. That was my nickname once, I think. Calculator. Because I really think, like in mathematics, like the most, you know, the stuff like emotion and feeling doesn't mean much to me. Like, I can't measure that. So, like, I understand it, but I don't use it. You know, I was an engineer for decades. I still am. I guess I always have been. We all are. But like, I constantly have to work with real numbers, real science, real time, you know. It helps me to know that for certain. Now, we don't have enough time to finish all these missions, but tomorrow I'll get working on this. So. And related to time, let's take a look at the, shoot, I should have targeted this. Oh, I remember. I gotta take a look at the faction store. Let's take a look at this. There's only 5 days and 21 hours left of that. Wow. missing this battle pass thing. I can actually close too. We're completely out now. Whew. Feels good. I don't know why this BlueStacks icon is still here. It's weird. Sometimes it kind of hangs. Alright, so this has all been done. I'm gonna save my green data. It was 200k sounds a lot, but you got an item that's like 61,000 later on. So I don't really need the reputation. Things don't change like halfway through your reputation. So the next one, I don't need that more than I need to augment credits. So on the list for tomorrow, I gotta do some augment data mining or data extraction. So. I'm gonna take the easy one. Here I was thinking of going straight for the event points, but I only need to attack 4 ships to get some supplies I need to make the event easier for me. So let's go check out this system here. And then on the first account, oh, there's those level 35s I really want. Nice. Now sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. So. Wow, there's so many of them too. That's real nice. Alright, we're gonna run our augment store real quick. Let's see. Let's buy our augment credits here. Yay! Wow, I have there's 300 recruit shards. Katie down. Alright, enough of the augment store stuff. This thing I should have been done with in the morning, to be honest. I wonder if this Kamari can take out at least 3 of these 35s here. Alright, there's 2 34s, let's go for that. And I'm thinking I don't have enough speed ups now, even if I save I have regular speed ups, but not the repair speed ups, and I don't want to use any of my Latinum. So, I could use some, but we'll see. So, and to save time, I'll just try to do the 34s and be done with it. It really is almost 2 a.m. in this time zone, so actually I really wish the resets were at a different time, or that things just didn't expire so quickly, you know. Alright, I think I only need like 4, maybe 3 more of these ships and we'll be completely done with the heroic level 25 thread from beyond. It says 130 if you can't read that. I know it's hard to read on a phone because your screen's only 3 inches wide. So, but the little ships on here are tiny. Now, this ship is like half a centimeter wide for me. I'm on the 14-inch diagonal, you know. I can only imagine what it's like on a phone. So I'm surprised people can play this on a phone at all. Alright, so we're done with the heroic. Alright, we're just gonna keep attacking these 28s here. So since we're done with that, I'm just gonna recall the ship. Now I'm getting that bug on this side here. Oh my god. Now this, every time, you know, the worst days I have to restart, even when I just play, it used to be on one account. Almost 6 or 7, like 8 times, almost 10, you know. There's a little 28 over here. think I only have about 20 something more ships over here. They're all in one system, so yeah, 24 only. At this point, it's going to take a long time just to do one ship at a time. So I'm bringing in the second ship back. Now, one thing I assumed, but I didn't know for sure, I thought that once you put the dry dock in and it says repair, that you couldn't get the ship back out, but actually you can redeploy it if you haven't already clicked repair. So the other thing is these interceptors here for some reason are less powerful. They seem to do a little less more damage on your ship versus the battleships, and sometimes versus the Explorer. So, now that's not true in every single system. It depends on which ship you use. Sometimes it depends on the level too. So there's that set of factors as well. So, and it depends on the day. Sometimes you get like almost no critical hits, and you're always giving critical hits to your hostiles, so you have the advantage. So most of the parts of time. So there's a swarm daily goal when I can get some valuable rewards. Frequency modulators, I think, is one of them. There's also repair speedups in there, I think, or regular time speedups. All I have to do is hit 5 level 24 swarms. It's so hard to pull this all the way over sometimes. Now, let's try this tool for a second here. This is like an operation recorder. Let's do something real simple. Let's just go like right to left. When I press this, let's go and, alright, so if I play this script here, let's see what it does. Does it do anything? Okay. See, I don't, okay. Not the research to see how that script works, and then I might try a third-party script to see if it works. Two, it's always good to have two backups. Starfleet Command engineering role. And if you ever hear Trip from Enterprise talk, he talks about it. That character is from Texas, and I am too. So let's go to that. Alright, 28 here. My horizon's gonna be almost like completely taken out here. Oh, I'm all the way up in the system. Oh, the automatic fire is seconds away. Thankfully, I came back just in time. Thank God. So, I keep forgetting stuff because I can't set an alarm, and there's one thing in this game, you can't go in a straight shot from item A to item B sometimes, so that's bothersome. There's so many level 35s, I wish I could come out here and hit them, so. But the swarm is priority, so. So let's see if I can tap just 4 of these to get a set of speed ups to help me repair my ship. So. And I'll worry about the rest later. Okay. That thing's running all the way up. So I gotta leave like a 5 ship gap here. So I'll need to hit about maybe 15, 20 more. I'm trying to stay as far as I can from that fighter that's pursuing me. So it looks like it took about the quarter of the haul here. I feel like I need some music. I wish I could sing a little tune. No, I'm actually trying to write titles and lyrics for Star Trek parody songs. So I guess I could do a country parody song. Star Trek Fleet Command today. It's my favorite game. If you watch Bob Saget, you know this song by name. It's the red, white, and blue. The funny things you do. Star Trek Fleet Command. This is you. There we go. There's my whole parody. For Star Trek Fleet Command. Let's take it so serious that we sound like we're Marcus and always hard. It looks like he was whipped so hard that he can only think of pain. I just saw that one. Part of the Star Trek Into the Darkness. It's just the title kind of scared me when I heard that. I'm like, why is it never Into the Light now? So there's a lot of movies that were like The Dark, The Dark Side of the Moon and Transformers, and all the stories are just freaking disasters you're watching, you know. And there's never like 5 minutes in the movie sometimes that goes right for them, you know. So now let's concentrate on this one thing and pay attention to how many points we got. 61 points. Okay. I need 75 total. So I only need 9 more this way. I'm good. But in the meantime, let's finish up that second account. We're getting a little bit of frozen lag here. Now you're probably wondering, why is he always hitting the trading ships? There is a hidden benefit, which for me is more obvious. I'm trying to farm blueprints for the horizon. So I have like 26 now, I think. And I only need 14 more. I think it's a total of about 40 is all you need, you know. So, no, that's not the right ship. Not the right ship. And I clicked the stop button, but it didn't stop. Sometimes you gotta click that button more than once. Right. Now I gotta run over here. That'll give me at least 4 minutes away from that ship, so that's nice. I'll be able to finish this up. Most of the time I finish the event on the second account first, because it's actually like half the difficulty. So, this ship here is labeled, it's an Antioch. That's kind of weird. So I think I was just in a level 16 swarm system a second ago. Sometimes where it pulls you to is not always correct, so the software is mostly perfect some days, but sometimes it's mostly imperfect other days. Let's go with this system here. It literally says 5 minutes away. I don't know, just to be safe, I'll just click it here. Like I saw Romulan, whatever, at their Klingon fighter, it will actually destroy the ship. So, we'll run back here. So I think I said 9 more of these. But for these 24s, I only need 3. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Keep scouting locations. Okay. So I have enough to get the next part of the mission. Now you have to re-favorite each time you get a new mission in the series. It doesn't stay favorited, and it doesn't always go up to the top, which is weird. It's queued sometimes like 10 missions south or lower on the list. So. You're wondering how many missions I've done. Under my player profile, it says hundreds, almost 1,000, but I think that counts as like every daily goal as a mission. I don't feel like I've actually done that many. I feel like at most I've done maybe 300. So, on one account. So maybe less. But I actually wrote out a list of every mission. And I can remember most of them. Almost all of them I've done this year. So. Alright, so I actually got to redirect the ship to come up here now. It's inaccessible looking. We'll give it a little bit of time. Did we get it? I think we might have got it. We got a notification here. So. Alright, Sanctum's going to take 4 minutes to get here. This ship here needs to hit a level 34. Since I wasn't able to find enough in that system. There we go. Click on locate. It's not locating. Now I'm just going to click on the view system. Alright, we got everything we need on this account, so I can enter the system. Just like to do one final check before I come out. So, or before I log out or come out of the app. So, now, if you're getting chased, it's prudent to wait for the ship to get to the point here before you do anything new. We're actually going to recall both these ships here because I can't really mine a lot with them like this. While we're waiting, we'll hit this number 9 here to line the load. God, it's all level 33s here. Where's it 34? Thank God I really found one. Whew. Sometimes they're really rare, like this entire system will spawn out new ships and none of them will be 34s. Now I've said this once in a previous video and I'm wondering why do I hit the trader ships, or the one that looks like a slice of pizza, or like an ice cream cone, or an upside down triangle. So that's actually because these ships are the least powerful of this number. That I can hit, A, and B, they actually give me a special drop I'm looking for. So, yeah, I think I might have gotten my last one. To be safe, I'm going to put this ship all the way to the edge here. Now, you know, if the fighter's in the middle of the system, I like to calculate that I only have less than 1 minute to move my ship. Well, there's actually a little more time than that. It's just when you log out of the screen here, that ship can go faster. Like the game, if it speeds up, right? If it cheats, like how it respawns, it can make the clock go quicker. Like you've seen in other games like Sim, time can slow down, time can pause. You know, time is speed. So something you maybe learned in physics class once, but it doesn't seem to sink in. At least not yet. Alright, so these ships will come in a few seconds here. Alright, everything's good for now. So I can actually minimize this. And I do this so I can recognize the difference between the two, but they look almost the same. And then this list of stuff here is like, I'll have to work on it. Sanctum here. There's something in the daily bulls I wanted to check. Oh, yeah, I'm still a lot of points away from this stuff here. I think I needed to buy Charge Nano Pros. We got a lot still going on here. So now this ship here, I can actually send this to a swarm system to help get that done. But sometimes in the morning my power goes out. You know, for a while I couldn't keep the power constant because the wire around the AC adapter has been damaged. And it seems the AC adapter itself is a bit weak. So unfortunately my best one, which was given to me, is out of my possession now. So the last time I saw it was in Conroe, Texas. So at the McDonald's, 1100 East 105. So I haven't seen it since then. I'm just hoping it's still just at home. Now this waypoint here, I think is part of the mission, yeah, Sanctum. So thankfully when you go to these systems here, they're neutral, so nothing comes out after you. Now if I'm lucky, there's a horizon blueprint here. So Oh, here we go. I'm trying to look at the board tech here. This is actually reset, but I don't have enough nano probes. I shouldn't be doing this till I finish everything, I guess, but sometimes you don't have enough time to do it that way. Horizon? No, I got 8 left. I still got 2-star parts. 2-star more. Okay. Well, those were good rewards too. I was just hoping for a Horizon blueprint after all that work. So, honestly, I wish I could build it for just one blueprint or platinum the blueprint or something. Or you could use the same blueprint multiple times, you know. Now you say something about super soldiers. Alright, sanctums now. Oh, it actually gives me some repairs. That's not bad. It says special refinery. It's an interesting name for it. Alright, we got another mission here called moving targets here. Just looking at numbers, see my totals there. Should have done that backwards. Done 10-minute first so I could give myself a help here. But there's enough to do both here. So. I'm actually going to speed this up here. Now I need to accept the repair first, make sure it goes through. It probably did go through. But we'll just speed up the rest here. Wait 5 seconds. And we're going to send the second one. And you have to click on the ask for help button, otherwise it won't come through. Let's see if we can attack this shit. It says hard. I don't like the sound of it. To be honest, I don't have much else to do with this shit. So. In such a small amount of time. So. Alright, I hope this came through. Let's just make sure I got the threat from beyond, heroic, and the original threat from beyond. I actually got 6 more points, dude. Okay. So I retreated kind of early. Send the ship out now. This is actually level 24 or so. You do get more frequency modulators, but I'm gonna go for it. let's see, is it worth it or not? Because there's less powerful swarm, so it might cost me more for the repairs. I can't remember how many. We get 51 here, so like 6 ships would be only like 30 something frequency modulators. I'd rather save the lithium and titanium. So we're going to change the course of the ship by pressing stop, and then redirecting it to the 16 here, which is the closest from the north side. Alright, since there's time here. Yeah, that ship destroyed me. That's surprising. Alright, let me set the course out here. So this course can't be reset. Now it can be reset. It's a little buggy sometimes, but if you notice, almost every software has that, even hardware. So it says defeat the Romulan ship. If I got enough haul left with the Kamari, I can definitely do it. Scan this to see if this is easy. Okay. You have a pretty good chance here that I can do it. So that's working. Let's see if I can come out with the speed ups here. I got 12. That's good. I only need that many. Check. Ideally, I put all my augments, guys, but I think some of them are stuck on the ship here. It would boost the power of the ship just a little bit, and but it won't make like more than a 5% difference. So this Mayflower. Let's see if we can get a quick 10 points here. Probably have to dive in some of my Latin reserves. Now, versus what I get back, it might be worth it. You know, a few hundred bars of Latinum for millions of resource and dozens or hundreds of refined stuff. Let's go in the fashion store here and make sure things are alright. Double check we purchase everything we can. Still 4,700. I want to save those for independent credits. Yeah, let's check the recruit button to make sure. I like to open up non-event recruit tokens, like the standard here, which might be an event someday. It just hasn't been for almost 7 months now. That's how many months I've been playing this game. Let's go to refinery. So here, if you got the time, you should wait, but you can move after this for the skip button in the corner here, which is easier. But if it's not here, you still click on the corner and it'll still get you past this, but it might take a couple extra screens. Or tech here. So I have enough nano probes, but just haven't had time there. I forgot. So let's jump in between accounts. got a 4-hour chest here. That's good. Wow, 40 lot. That's nice. I got charged nano pros, which I can use to make the BDAR a little stronger. Just tempting. Let's take a look at the officers thing on here. I might have unlocked that number in the officers tab. Is also a number of officers you have unlocked, including items you can buy or what you've earned here in the recruit store or recruit screen. Wondering why I don't use the augment credits. None of these augment guys really interest me as much as like 10 of 10 from the board, because it's a mining crew member. All these guys here, if you look at their ability, this is like hull breach, impulse speed, hull breach. Maybe get something with pike or bridge ability. Kirk I've already unlocked, Gorkin I've already got. I actually have 10% critical damage, that sounds pretty good. 40% burning for Nero. Across Mitchell Marcus, which I just saw in the movie. Well, he has an 80% chance to inspire the opponent's HHP is under 80%. That's interesting. So you can get stuff for all of these guys here. I'm gonna save these tokens. So that Borga band comes, they were using Ultra Recruit tokens, and if you save them, it unlocks where you can get stuff. Even though these characters are really nice, I'd rather have 10 of 10. But if not, I can still purchase regular stuff with them. So it's still open for other recruits, or the whole set that you have. Plus the event doesn't end for a while, so I still have time. Alright, so we're still trying to finish the event on this side. I kind of want to try one of those like critical hit or hull breach guys. And really, the most I need is a stronger Mayflower here at this point. Oh my god! Almost took the whole hull again. So I've tagged these shits before, but I thought I could do at least 3 before, or 2. Let's go down to like the 28s here. this, I kind of want to change to mining crew. So let's see if we can do that. So I got a lot of swarm here still to do. These are daily goals from today, so they'll expire actually in less than 9 hours. So I gotta sleep at least 7. That leaves like a small amount of time, you know, less than 2 hours. So let's change this to like this shit here. Let's see what kind of crew I have left. Okay. So this is 200,000 power ship. I won the battle. Yay. I'm wondering how much those like 900,000 power ships, how much damage you're doing per round. I think it's about 70 something thousand average points of damage, so. So they're very strong compared to what I have now. To players who are higher up, it's nothing. And I've seen a Nelson that's only like 1 million something take out ships like that. Quite a few, like probably more than 7. So. Alright, so it used to be when I put group, the miners would go up to the front here, but I don't understand what group means anymore. It used to be that way. So. I kind of need more titanium than anything else, so let's mine it, set up the miner for that. I like to go with this setup here, because it gives me speed to get there. And on the way back, I'll be a little slow, but that's okay, you know. Oh man, got destroyed. Alright, I'm down to 1 ship over here. I've never seen, since I've had 4 docks, like 4 ships destroyed. I'm gonna try to see if I can hit one more 28 here. Alright, we're crewed up for mining now. Oh, we got some rewards here, that's good. I think I didn't collect. You actually have to go into the events button and collect your reward. It doesn't just, sometimes it does automatically show up and sometimes it doesn't. I'm in the swarm system here. I have a tiny bit of hull, I don't want to lose it. So I still need 1 point here. Wow, okay. I've already got the battle pass. So I need, wow, a lot more swarm here. And this mission I got at least 5 more days to do, so it's a secondary priority at this point. I really want to finish up everything on the second account. Wow, look at that, 18 units on common gas, that's nice. Let's go for another 28. Maybe I'll get lucky here. Oops, got the wrong thing here. So we're about halfway there. That's kind of interesting. So what are the elite rewards at the top here? Wow, that's real nice. This one give you gas or something. Oh, crystal. Okay. This one give you gas. There we go. 93 units of uncommon gas. Wow. That's a pretty good deal. Though it probably could be better. Alright, so we're going to try to repair this Mayflower again. I only got 30 minutes. So there we go. Now let's try this the other way here. I attack a 28 first. And then I attack a 30. This should be the last one for both of these swarm events for the day, the third day of the battle pass. So hopefully in about a week we'll have all the rewards and I'll be free. I wish there was like at least like 2 weeks off from this game. Or you just do regular stuff, you can queue it up and come back like a week later, or 3-4 days later, you know what I mean? Kind of space things out a bit. Give people free time, you know. Yay! Okay, we're done with that. I remember Resident Evil, there was a complaint about the load times. Like you would see the same animations play between stuff, and I wish there was something simpler. They would just leave what you see on one side, and this ship here, I might just leave it in my dock tonight. This is actually a Klingon-friendly system. Pre-warp this system here. Then I'm actually going to restart this app real quick, just to target a rock, and I think we'll be done. completely done until tomorrow morning. And this one here, I'm almost done too. It takes a while for the app to go back to its home screen here, but we'll let it load all the way. Well, the ship's here already. Let's try one of these 605,000 power ships. So I'm lucky it won't take so much out of me. Let's take a look at the battle log to see. Well, the 28s I think do almost 50 to 60,000 points of damage around. 28 swarm cluster. Sorry, I just see the number only, so I'm used to repeating what I have seen in the past. So right here. Well, it says it's doing 8,000 damage here. Last round, it seems low. There was a critical hit, and there's like 18 rounds. Jesus. 18 rounds for only one ship. That's like a real battle. I won that one. You know, when I was on the edge, sometimes I would win, sometimes I wouldn't, but I would lose like at least half the hull, almost the whole hull. Like 90% of the hull, 80% of the hull, or the whole ship. So, it only took like a 20% away. Let's see if we can get one more to do that. We're actually gonna watch this one all the way through here. Minimize this. Down to about half. I really wish I had put in the crew that gives more critical hits or something. So my increased damage crew, their levels are not very high. So most people would probably have like officers that are level 25 and 30, so they would do more damage to hostile ships, you know. Starting here. Hopefully, sometimes it takes almost 4 minutes for the ship to arrive. And I'm only like a minute away here. Let's see, 58-second repair. You're gonna love that. Alright, we'll take care of the titanium miner first. Take care of business first. One very last thing I want to do on that account is open up the chest. So. Alright. I think that's where it says warping. So sometimes the ship is actually warping, but it looks like things are still. So the ship's right there, so I'm gonna hit it. Sometimes while you're warping, if you hit a ship, or while in your impulse, you just gotta warp, I mean, you do better for some strange reason. Beach Walnut is here. Hello. Hey, look at that. There's an 18K rock just for me. Able to defeat one ship again. Even about half a hull only. So I gotta go back down here. We got a reward here. I'll open up this box. Now I'll do one final check on my account. I like to actually, after I accepted these bucks, go back to home screen, make sure I've gotten everything. Oh, look at that. More stuff, cool. We got got an inventory here, which is odd because you see items and then it says inventory. So the labeling here is a little odd sometimes. So now to be the most safe, because it's only one piece shield, I got an 8. I'm actually going to put up a full 24 just in case something happens, like power outages, or let's say I have trouble logging in, which happened to me once. So we have a full 24 hours of protection. This is perfect. I can end this bit. We're good. Now I have other accounts I can take care of now, so I'm going to try to see if I can maintain another one. I want to practice using this operation recorder, but I don't want to do it while I'm running this. I'm afraid it might crash or it might do something wrong. Well, there's a couple of things recorded here, but I don't know what the first script is. What does that do? One simple one, I just want the recall button to work right, but oh well. I guess I'll figure it out later. So let's see if we can attack another 28 here. Now, even though this bottom row of extra apps, which are like built-in advertisements, which I think if you click it, it'll download the app, or maybe it's already pre-packed, you know what I mean? So I think I just survived. Amazingly, like when you have a little tiny bit of a hole. Sometimes you can still defeat one more ship, so. Alright, I don't have any significant amounts of speed up, so let's do a 1 hour. I guess I could use like 2 of these. One of those. Damn, I can. So I do 10 minutes. Might as well just go for 15. Make it one click easy. That was a lot of clicks already. So this way, if I attack 28 first, I guess I'm getting like 1 or 2 more points. So, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you gotta do this 10 times, that's an extra 30 points, you know. How the script is executing, that's interesting. Okay, so it does work, it's just, you know, it seems to be a delay, and I'm not sure I can see what's actually on there. Oh, sorry, that's the full screen controls. That probably looks better to some people, right? Oh, that's weird. I didn't mean to start repairing this shit, but okay. You gotta be careful when you're using that recorder thing. Oh, got about a minute and a half. So let's take a look at our ships here. I want to check the number of blueprints I have for the horizon. Because at this point, there's only 2 like 3-star ships you can build. Really, just 1 at this point. I mean, the North Star's 1. Where is it? North Star right here. 3-star there. And then the other one is your horizon. So I got 27 prints. So I thought I had 26. I only need 13 more. So that's not bad. Look at that. Everything's nicely still here. So. This thing I'm running 2 accounts really slow. Oh. And it has a warp and it takes you to the galaxy view. This is not in the system, but inaccessible. Okay, here's a little out here. My levels are kind of low here. Alright, I'm not going to refine these right now. Okay, that was weird. I had to click on the view system or something. Let's see if I can redo the same here. Hello, 28 swarm. Ship all the way to Rancher. Yes, I can. Around this hour, if I'm lucky, there might be a boss rock I can get to. Doesn't look like there's any open right now. Not a single one. research real quick here. Tech one more, then we're gonna go up to level 30. I don't think there's any combat research I can do. This account, I'm trying to keep it under level 15 because your base is protected at that point. It's less work for me right now. I don't have a full setup where I can maintain all 4 accounts and a full-time assistant, you know. So, not yet. I'm looking for one. So you click on locate. Oh, this rock's still good here. Thank God. Let's do this. There's another ship here. This repair system, I didn't really check. That's gas. Nope, it's not up there. I'm too high up. It's actually in Aruna. So let's see. Zoom all the way out here. Pressing the page down button on your right hand side of your keyboard. Nothing. Okay. Can I get to Asia? No. Work range 17. Okay. Well, let's click this help here to get this out of the way. Oh, well, they're from beyond another level, so that's good. Now the Battle Pass event also is on these level 14 accounts here too. Hey, there's a rock here. I kind of like the ones on the edge here. They're the fastest to get to. So hopefully I'll be able to get to it. I'll take a look at what rewards we won on that one. Click on locate. That's weird. It looks like we got more alliance credits on that account. Is that right? 500? This is not the right system. I thought it was on a level 30 swarm system. Alright, I'm gonna go up here. Okay. I usually don't like to open up these 10-minute boxes here when I'm short on time, but like I am now. But let's see if there's something more there. 16 hours. Wow, okay. It's gonna be a long research there. And here, I can actually just warping to the system, you want to check to see if the rock's still open. But you really want, you know, the most rock there, you can actually PM message people in the system. Even at this late night, there's still some people that will reply you. So you might have to copy and paste the same message to like a dozen people and wait 20 minutes, but somebody will probably answer you. If not, you can take a zero-noded route, but you risk having issues with that. So, yeah. And so, high-tech on somewhere, and then your foot quick go. Let's attack level 30 here and finish everything up so we'll call it a night. Now included, I might open up NavyField real quick just to collect the steel. Because I just finished the command center and I'm upgrading the steel warehouse, I think that's what it's called. Oh good, I got that rock. So let's collect the reward here. And the Mayflower got destroyed. That's not fun. It's 30 left on this. No. I'm gonna call it a night. It's almost 3 AM in the morning. It's been fun. It's been exciting and challenging too. So we're just, this is gonna be my last. That's actually when the emulator closes, I get that bug sometimes. BlueStacks doesn't get it, but sometimes it'll just, you know, stop suddenly. So both of them have kind of a similar issue. Alright, so all my Star Trek accounts are now completely finished. And since my group page, which I think sometimes I give the link problems, I put just group / OPM group, and then I should call it something else. OPM page or something, I'm not sure what to call it. The URL is a little, you know, it's not dedicated. The OPM is part of the federal government, the Office of Personnel Management. So, of course, almost every acronym you can think of is part of the government or part of private companies or many other things, even in your own family. So, it's probably some chemical in your body that has opium, oxygen, potassium, magnesium. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go taekwondo.
Mới ăn một tô luôn.
Mình bao nhiêu này để try to run the taekwondo shop. And then nhóm đang cầm tiền treasury. Yeah, they try to train. Hy vọng 107 ngày là tiền là vô. And then had to train một nhà băng nào bên here. Mình thay. Một số tiền là mình cần thiết kỹ mình kiếm tiền lối. So, nhiều việc tại đó. Hy vọng Google, YouTube and lên mạnh đó. Alright, so running BlueStacks, which is the first one I played, and I like this one because it seems a little more stable sometimes. Of course, when you type in Android emulators into Google now, you get this first. The LDPlayer, oddly, I didn't see it on the top 10 results, so, which I wish was organized better. Like 2 columns instead of 1 straight column. And stuff buried, and you gotta slide all the way down the bottom of the page. Because if you do that only a few times a day, you don't notice how hard that is. But if you gotta do it like 1,000 times in a month or in a week, it's like carpal tunnel for your whole arm, you know. All 32 parts of your hand. When you're talking about bones, I guess. Hand, arm, and shoulder. That's what I'm thinking, not just your hand. So. Alright, so this is part of SD Internet. Now I like these images here. These are really nice. Hôm bữa ông đang thảo luận bên ngoài còn nên dùng từ bán khác ngoài xe lên mà cha bên đó ngồi mình mất ông cho 13 mươi tuổi mình 3 này nói khung bộ bạn chơi ông bất em đã cái đầu ra nha. Yeah, I'm just gonna collect the steel for fun and tea. Bên NavyField and yeah, I'm more and then Star Trek fleet come in and like I said, just chơi một mấy người just chơi để cũng còn đi. Now I'm chơi để có tea and I'm just gonna keep dry and hold. Alright, so this is the steel depot here. So I'm upgrading this. I think it cost about 540,000 steel to do that. And then I'm trying to resave another $1 million so that I can build another ship here. Ooh, I can get another set of stuff. That's a 6-day build, wow. And then trying to save up for something. This lowest battleship is not fun. It's underpowered, almost the same power as your CA. It's better to go one up here, at least North Carolina, New Mexico, Montana is a possible option, or Iowa, California, Nebraska, all the biggest ones. And then I got the Independence, which I've had this on the first account, so it's fun to see that again. With the Lexington, it's definitely better. I never think I'd gotten to that, but I focus mainly on the subline. So wow, these catch a lot. So 700,000. Well, that's tempting, just to try it out. We'll see. I still got a way to save up for that. Not a lot more. All right, that's it, everybody.